Welcome to my new video. Today I will tell you about the hidden audio recordings of Princess Diana. Nearly 30 years after her death, Diana, Princess of Wales, remains the most fascinating and mythologized woman of contemporary monarchies. No other royal figure has generated such global empathy, so many theories, so many documentaries, special programs, and exhibitions, and at the same time, such a persistent feeling that there are still things to discover. And indeed, just when it seemed that everything about her had been said, a new docuseries promises revelations that will change her story. Nothing is too much to quell the nostalgia for a princess who marked a turning point in the royal era of the 20th century. British production company Love Monday is preparing Diana, The Unheard Truth, a three-part documentary series set to premiere in 2027, coinciding with the 30th anniversary of her death in Paris. But this will be no ordinary documentary about the so-called People's Princess. Its true strength lies in something exceptional: 5 hours of private conversations recorded by Diana herself in 1991 that have remained hidden for decades. The recordings were made in apartments at Kensington Palace and then given to journalist Andrew Morton through Dr. James Colthurst, a close friend and confidant of Diana. Those tapes would eventually become the basis of Diana, her true story, the explosive book published in 1992 that shook the foundations of Buckingham Palace. Until now, only a small portion of the material had been made public. The rest remained locked away, an emotional time capsule of the most difficult moment in Diana's life, the final collapse of her marriage to the then Prince Charles. And that is precisely what makes this series a historical event. Because it's not about indirect testimonies or later interpretations. It's Diana speaking. Her voice, her silences, her way of laughing, her way of describing fear, loneliness, humiliation, and also her hopes. According to the producers, the recordings reveal a much more complex image of the princess. Not just the woman hurt by Charles's infidelities or the victim trapped within a rigid and ruthless institution, but also someone extremely intelligent, intuitive, ironic, and fully aware of the role she was playing within the Windsor world. The tapes reportedly contain previously unreleased statements about Charles III, Camilla Parker Bowles, and even Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. They also include reflections on his sons, William and Harry, as well as intimate scenes of his life together at Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace. The series will also include testimonies from people very close to Diana. Among them are a former school friend, hairdresser Sam McKnight, one of the key figures in Diana's image during the 1990s, journalist Richard Kay, and Penny Thornton, the astrologer the princess trusted who confirmed her suspicions. She would never be queen. The interest in Diana has something paradoxical about it. The more time passes since her death, the more relevant she seems. Her figure has become a multifaceted symbol. She was an aristocrat, a pop icon, a vulnerable mother, a media star, a melancholic princess, an institutional rebel, and a global phenomenon all at once. She was also a pioneer in something that is now commonplace: understanding the power of image, of feelings, of emotion at close range. Diana transformed the way royal families interacted with the press and with the public. She humanized the crown with tears, hugs, and compassion, and broke codes that seemed unshakable. But that closeness came at a devastating price. The recordings were made during a time of extreme emotional fragility. Diana felt isolated, betrayed, and under unbearable pressure. Her marriage to Charles was broken, and Camilla was a constant presence in their lives. "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded," she would say in November 1995 in the historic BBC interview with Martin Bashir. The importance of those tapes was immense because they allowed Diana, for the first time, to control her own narrative. Until then, Buckingham Palace had carefully managed the princess's public image. With Morton, something different happened. Diana began to tell her version of the story, and the impact was devastating. The book revealed mental health issues, bulimia, self-harm attempts, emotional loneliness, and a profound disconnect between the royal couple. The British monarchy was exposed in an unprecedented way. Many consider it the beginning of the end for the old monarchical model based on silence and obedience as the norm. Now, decades later, the new documentary promises to go even further. The producers assure us that audiences will discover a surprisingly lucid Diana, even capable of foreseeing the future of the royal family. And perhaps therein lies one of the most interesting keys to this story. Listening to Diana today is also to hear the origins of some of the conflicts that still haunt the Windsors. Because it's impossible not to think about Harry and Meghan, about the break with the institution, about the accusations of a lack of emotional support, about the media war, about the feeling of suffocation within the royal machine. Many of the wounds that afflict the British monarchy today seem like direct echoes of what Diana experienced and described more than 30 years ago. That's why 2027 threatens to become, once again, the year of Diana. And the same thing that has always happened with her will probably happen again. That, even from the past, she continues to change history and generate unprecedented interest. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be grateful for every like, comment, and especially subscription.